Into the newsroom, all new at 7 right now. It looks like the Supreme Court will take up a case about Arizona's voter laws.
The Republican-backed laws were passed in 2022 following the 2020 election. These laws require people to show proof of citizenship for voter registration and there to be regular purging of state voter rolls. A lower court blocked these laws, saying they conflicted with federal voting rules. Republicans appealed with support from the Trump administration. The justices already gave the Republican Party a partial win in 2024 on this, letting Arizona demand proof of citizenship for state and local elections, but not for federal races. Federal law already requires voters to swear they are citizens under penalty of perjury, and data shows non-citizen voting is very rare. Arizona is one of only a few states that also requires extra documents to vote, like a driver's license or passport. The justices will hear arguments on this case this fall, and there's a ruling expected after the midterm elections.